Okay, feeling good? Kat, you good?
We long
Everything
rested
figured out?
in the
All
end,
right.
right?
Think.
Yeah. So
Okay.
just as a brief aside before I make someone give me a recap here.
I wrote it this time.
You wrote it this time?
Last time was awful. I was like, I'm never doing that again.
That's good. That's good. I forget what episode are we on? I do this every time. D&D
Wake up.
episodes of Avernus.
12?
15.
15.
Yeah.
Jeez, I was really wrong.
15!
Not close.
Oh, bloody
And
hell.
we're still not it. We're in chapter 1.
Okay.
Of
We're gonna
5!
speed run it, right? Right, rest of the group. We're gonna speed run right through.
Let's just fucking skip 2,
Line.
3, and 4, do some like satanic ritual shit and summon Satan. Item.
And
it
fight
all.
Satan? Yeah, at level 4. You want to do that?
Gonna fucking smear Klim's blood in a pentagram all over the place.
God, someone
Oh, dear.
needs to talk about this. Klim is just a smear on a wall somewhere, and in a
Somewhere,
grave.
somewhere.
I thought we gathered up
Most
bits
of him,
and
yeah.
chucked them in the ground.
Right, but that was it, and we just moved on.
I don't think we moved on, Joel. We had a funeral, and then V made the little the orb thing.
Yeah, the orb.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Sounds like you've got some unresolved issues.
I do
Joel,
because
not
I
us.
miss him. All right,
Yeah, I do too.
one of my favorite NPCs.
I'm fucking wasting a resurrection spell on Klim.
Whoa!
Fucking
What?
pulling him up again. I'll resurrect him and be like, hey, Klim, you hungry? I cooked your breakfast. Have another egg.
Oh God! All right, well, hey, hi, welcome to Descend to Avernus, episode apparently 15. We've descended into many basements, but not Avernus. One day probably. As a brief reminder to the cast here, yes, a long rest was had at the end. During the last session here. The end of last session really just ended with us seeing into Cyrus's fever dreams, where he was reprimanded soundly for his reckless actions. And we'll have to, figure out if that affects anything of his from there. But before we get back into this, I do want everyone to roll me a d20, and we'll see who has the joy, the pleasure.
I was gonna say that was such a good recap. You're done.
No.
A+.
Oh, Francis, looking good.
The one.
Looking
Oh,
good.
Joel, go fuck yourself.
Man,
Wow.
wow, Francis, it looks like you'll be giving us the recap today. Please, go ahead. I know you took ample amounts of notes.
I never take notes. I've got a
God,
perfect
my notes.
memory.
My notes are really good.
I have a perfect memory. I can't wait to hear this.
Well, I can't remember exactly when the last episode began, but I think that it was when we set off for Candlekeep. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Let's start with us getting horses and stuff.
last session, you all saw us leave Baldur's Gate. We were probably outfitted and given horses and a cart, and off we went. As we were traveling, we saw a vast amount of refugees coming into, or attempting to gain entry to Baldur's Gate, and some children tried to steal some of our gold, and some of it was given to them, and there was the issue with the group of them following off the children, or a group of bandits or something, but I don't think any of us really saw that. Or
No, that was just for our camera to note that, you know, maybe there were some issues caused by handing children a bunch of money.
He doesn't know better.
They're dead now. It's fine.
We don't know.
But nonetheless, we continued along the road, and later that day, as we were traveling, a farmer on a cart was coming the opposite direction, and as we tried to pass, well, you wouldn't believe it, but he turned into a devilish creature of some sort, grew wings and flew up into the air, and demanded that we hand over this strange-looking shield that V is in possession of. We had a fight, and, well, it devolved a bit. A grappling hook was affixed to the flying creature, and, well, Cyrus, in his infinite wisdom, began to climb the grappling hook as the creature flew higher and higher, taking Cyrus with it, until, well, he had a long fall, and we narrowly avoided having another splattered ally by handily, or myself mainly, healing him just before he impacted the ground, allowing Cyrus to, I don't know, brace himself a bit before he shattered into 1,000 pieces. But he's obviously severely injured, so we took him to a nearby village. Is that on the map there?
Yeah, it says Iriarin. Yep.
Well, that's where. So we went to Iriarin, where we came upon a tavern, and we asked for whatever healing facilities they had, and it was an old weird man in the woods. So we set out the next day, got the old weird man in the woods, who seems to be growing some sort of dubious mushrooms that Hugo was paying attention to. But nonetheless, we returned with said old man, and he prepared some sort of concoction for Cyrus that, from what the old man said, it reset all his bones, and I believe it would have caused Cyrus quite a bit of pain. And then, I don't know, Cyrus started muttering in his sleep, but I didn't pay too much attention to that. And, well, that was bedded down for the evening.
That's great. That was awesome. Well done.
Well done.
Impressed.
I'm
I
so
would not
glad that
memorize that.
I'm so glad you brought up about the child pickpockets, because I just have one line in my notes that just says, I choke slammed a child. And I had no idea what that was about. So that's what that was about. I remember picked him up off his feet.
I choke slammed a child. Oh, yeah. And then you hired them to guard your stuff as you made your way over the bridge there.
They did a good job.
They did a good job.
And now they're dead.
And now they're something. Yeah, so this is where we find ourselves at the beginning of our 15th episode.
Oh, blimey.
Still in Iriarin, having rested, basically monitoring what has happened to Cyrus here and his progress. What would you guys like to do?
So if we all slept in, is it like a communal room or separate rooms, or?
Iriarin's not very busy. You probably would have had like a couple of double rooms at this particular inn. Oh, this is good music for this little place. Iriarin's a nice place. Ah, country village. Fantastic.
Ooh, what a nice name.
Yes. Now, yeah, you would have rested peacefully, all except Cyrus. Who, Cyrus, you have 3 points of exhaustion.
Go.
So,
isn't that like you can sneeze and die or something?
well, it's like disadvantage on everything and half speed. You're hurting, my friend.
At least I'll stop him climbing so high.
This is a result of you not having an actual long night's rest for the last 2 days. So you're feeling it. You're really feeling it here. That being said, you all wake up in the trimmed chase. I hate random generators.
Could have been worse.
Could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Again.
And yeah, I mean, the rest of you had a wonderful night's sleep where you think you were very successful in rebuilding Cyrus without spoons. So that's pretty good.
We've made him stronger than before.
Potentially. We'll have to see.
Or less, because he doesn't have spoons.
So, what would you like to do?
Well, I suppose we should probably check on Cyrus.
Yeah. The first thing.
Okay. In that room, Cyrus, I think he was still left on the door that was brought up here, so he's been sleeping on this door.
On the door.
In the bed there, sleeping. So very unrestful.
Wasn't that the front door to the inn?
Yes, it was.
Surely the innkeeper was like, "Can I have my door back?"
Nah, they had a spare door. They put it in. It's fine. It's kind of just like propped up there. They don't want to bother you. You're all very dangerous-looking people. Yeah, they're not gonna bother you about it. But Cyrus is still probably laying there, in and out of his slumber. Cyrus, this is the first time that you were conscious in the last 2 days.
Morning, Cyrus. Feeling better?
Yeah.
Are you
good.
sure?
You'll be ready to
Ah.
walk to Candlekeep then, are
A
you?
rousing speech, yes.
I don't think he looks so good, guys. Still, are we sure the potion worked?
Well, he's not dead, so I dare say it did something.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, we have a wagon now.
Yes, I think he may be making use of that.
Right. Well,
Poor Cyrus.
did we want to, Hugo? You wanted to talk about the those weird poisonous mushrooms we saw, right?
Yeah, so I think that old man's definitely up to something, but well, I mean, it's up to all of us, right? I mean, do we think we have time for that? We are somewhat pressed in our journey to Candlekeep, I imagine, but it is something that we could inquire into.
I don't know. It's just he might just grow them for his personal use or something.
He did save our friend. Maybe we just let it go.
Maybe we do, yes. We don't want this little side mission to slow us down anymore, if you like. Now Cyrus is wagon bound, at least, he won't be falling from any great heights. However, we do need to speak about that shield you're carrying, as really that was somewhat the cause of this ill fortune, if you like.
Yes, actually, and V's gonna like take it out like of her thing. Just, let me see if I can ask about that. And she's gonna like think, like as touching the shield. Why was that devil thing after you? You said that you had to get to Hell's, but I didn't. Why is he above ground?
Why is he above ground? Yeah, I think that's an excellent question. As you look at the shield of the Hidden Lord, who has so promised you that they are definitely a celestial and in no way linked to anything nefarious. Well, like I said, there are things, people who are after me, my power, trying to keep me bound here within shield. That was just one that you meet. Think you've met another before, though I cannot be sure.
Well, the shields, we should give you a name. The shield said that they're trying to stop him from getting released, so they want to keep him in the shield, and that's why they're trying to get after it. Do you want to try talking to him? Maybe.
Oh, I'd love to, sure.
You just like hand him the shield.
Well, I mean, I can maybe talk to it without holding it because I have psychic whispers. But
Yeah, you can do that.
yeah, I'll try doing that. I'll try focusing on the shield, I guess, with that.
Yeah, and you definitely feel a link being made there. There is something sentient within the shield.
Yeah, and I'll just telepathically say to it, kind of like, so who exactly is it that's accompanying us, if I may know your name?
I am known as the Hidden Lord, and this is all you need to know.
That doesn't sound awfully altruistic, does it?
You are not my holder. I owe you nothing.
Hey, can I hold the shield for a moment?
Yeah, I don't see right now.
I'll take the shield off V. Oh, look, I'm your
V,
holder.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw
Oh.
Oh boy.
as you attempt to give the shield away.
Yeah, I mean, like, 10.
You try to proffer the shield out, and you feel your muscles tighten. Can't give it away. Your hands clamp down.
Do I
on the
see
shield.
this? I see.
It's pretty visible, I think. Maybe
Are
the
you okay?
confusion on V's face.
My body won't give it away. What? Oh, she like starting to get like a little like tensed up and worried. She's like trying to like throw it, but it's like
It's
not,
like holding on. Yeah.
it's like holding on. It won't come off.
Well, that's
I
okay.
can't-
Don't worry about that for now. And telepathically, I'll say to the shield, to the hidden lord, if you like, I'll say, so it seems you hold some sway over my friend. You might not find you have the same sway over me.
I don't need you.
Ah. But I know that I don't think that you're being entirely truthful.
I feel you are not entirely truthful to your friends.
That may be the case, but at least my motives are, you know, more or less aligned with theirs.
For now.
Also the case, but I feel like yours have never been there. And you may see harm come to them.
I only desire to be delivered to Avernus. That is the deal that I made.
The deal with whom?
Your friend V.
Well, if you can see a little into my motives, you know that I serve a power likely far greater than your own, so...
Yes. I'm sure.
Well, this is going to be awfully fun, isn't it?
V just sees like Hugo just staring at
looking at
for
it,
like a
yeah.
while.
I'm just staring and like smirking, but very
Yeah.
seriously at the
Like,
shield.
As like she's like flailing in concern. Hugo, is everything okay? This is a little concerning.
Whatever is in your shield is not something that is going to be a benefactor to you.
No, V, do not listen. I've already given you such great gifts. Feel the power that you hold when you have me. Roll me an insight check, V, and go ahead and do the same thing for me here, Hugo, because you're
right.
watching.
2.
Okay, nice. That's a good 2. We like that.
Uh-huh.
I rolled a 12, but wait, if I failed anything, I'll add a d6 to it.
You should add a d6.
Let's add a d6 to it. 3, so 15.
There you go. You watch as like it looks like the eyes glow for a moment, and it is not speaking to you. This is directly to V's. I can give you more. I can give you more power. Things that will help you on your journey. And you feel something change about the shield, V, as you have access to more of the abilities there. The shield has 3 charges. You can use an action to expend 1 charge to cast Fireball, or 2 charges to cast Wall of Fire from the shield.
Cool. That's Cat saying. Okay.
Stop being seduced by the shield!
There is
I
more.
didn't.
I can give you more. If only you but keep your promise.
Listen, I don't like how I'm not able to drop you, but my father always told me to keep your word. For now, at least let me know your name.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh goodness, it's a
name.
0.
That is a 0.
Wow.
You do
Actual
not need
0.
to know my name. I am the Hidden Lord. All you need to do, and you feel like this will absolutely being exerted on you in the moment, right? It's like, is deliver me to Avernus. You
Okay.
made a deal. I have given you more.
We will continue on our, and then V's going to turn to her friends at this point. She's going to say, I don't think we have much choice but to continue on our journey.
Whatever it is you're doing is clearly your own personal battle, and one that I likely should not become further involved in, but heed my words in that if you can, cast that damn thing into the ocean the first chance you get.
I'll heed your word. But for now, it has unlocked more abilities for me, so it might be useful for this next portion of the battles that come ahead.
Yes, some gifts may not be worth the price, but we must move onwards regardless.
Although, I do think that we should have a name for him. Because I don't know about you, but saying the Hidden Lord makes me a little bit more uncomfortable.
You should call it Rude Shield.
I like Rude Shield, yes. We can call it Rude. It is
Rude.
rather rude.
Rhea speaks up. I was going to call him Rat Bastard, but I guess Rude Shield works too.
Rat Bastard's a good one, yes.
Very well.
Oh.
Well, Rude, you're coming with me.
Good. You don't really have a choice. Okay.
Does V wear the shield like slung on her back?
She has it like attached to her like arm at this point.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
it's like a
It's a big boy shield
it's a
too.
big
Yeah,
shield.
When
so
V
it's-
turns away from me, I'm just gonna flip off the shield.
Nah.
make myself feel better.
Absolutely. So, Hugo, what have you been doing this morning? Were you watching the interactions here in the room with Cyrus and everything?
Do you mean Francis? You said Hugo there, Drew.
Oh, because I have you guys in the wrong spot on my thing. Oh,
Whoops.
Hey, viewers. Oops.
oops. I was like, yeah, this is
This guy
totally
Like,
set up.
Did anybody notice at 12:18 Craig was in Connor's spot and Connor was in Craig's spot? Thumbs up if you agree.
I will pin that over the work that is being done by someone
I'm
very
now
kind.
I'm
giving
now gonna go and
timestamps.
comment.
No,
and
no,
I'm gonna pin it.
timestamps absolutely. Thing. No,
I will
we
pin
will
it.
upvote all of them.
Well, I
bad.
guess to return to D&D, I would have
What?
been, I don't know, just I guess standing at the bedroom window smoking a morning pipe and kind of half listening.
Mhm. What are you considering? What's going on in Francis's brain?
I don't know how much the room is going to cost us and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
Nothing, not a whole lot going on in there this morning, I'll be honest.
Mm,
In Francis's brain. Yes.
sure. Yeah. So
I love how, Cyrus is like half dead on some door, and we're dealing with the shield things, and Francis is like, well, I don't know, like not a care, relax.
looking out over the countryside here and out
yeah, it's
towards
like
the
his
woods.
little
like,
Airbnb getaway.
yes. Good
Nice to
vacation.
the city for a change.
Huh, I might get a place out here. Seems nice. Okay. So that being said, if there's nothing else that you would like to do in Iriaren, you can pay your fee for being here. The dwarven woman that runs the place looks at you curiously as you make your way down with the door and Cyrus on it. She goes, I do think that you should probably leave me my own door, but just, you can put him on the cart and then bring it back in. It'll...
I believe we were going to do that, but you're quite right.
Right, I just wanted to remind you, good doors are hard to come by.
Is that I'll just sort of whisper, is that a country saying?
I'd imagine so. Doors are a fairly new technology here, I think. So
So yeah, I guess we
Load him up
door Cyrus onto the back of the cart and
like,
then
put
return
him-
the door.
between all the supplies and things that you have there. Ballister Fisk had brought around the carriage there. Seems that he was up bright and early and ready to get a move on towards Candlekeep. Yeah, and you hand the door back, and you find Giggly, and Old Ben kind of just waiting outside, and they're seemingly to see you off. Leave Iriaren. So little waves.
Thanks for your help, lads. Best of luck.
Oh,
when have you ever said lads before? What is this?
I'm trying to act more provincial.
Of course.
Yep. A little nod, and you make your way out of Iriaren. Yeah, cool. Back out on the road, carriage trundling along. The days kind of move by, about a 5-day journey. from Baldur's Gates all the way to Candlekeep, and you spent a little bit of downtime here in between trying to make sure Cyrus doesn't die, which, you know, respect for that. Not much else happens on the journey, though the weather starts to turn. Clouds hang low, and it does rain more often than not. Maybe you have to, like, cover Cyrus's body in the back so he doesn't just get soaked while he's back there. But at one point in time, Rhea, who's been mostly quiet and seemingly deep in thought, she's had lots to deal with since leaving Baldur's Gate, learning a whole lot of things that have turned her entire world upside down. She speaks up at one of the campfires that you have while you make your journey to Candlekeep. And she tells you a story. It was over a century past that the great troubles began. Fiends roamed the lands to the north and west of Elturel. Fields were despoiled, livestock slaughtered, homes razed, and people dragged off to a terrible and unknowable fate. Terror gripped the hearts of all. The city's cavalry rode across the land, striking down fiends wherever they found them, and suffering fearful losses. But it was never enough. For every fiend they destroyed, it seemed as though two more appeared elsewhere. The ruler of Elturel, the High Rider, asked his people to pray to the gods for aid. To everyone's astonishment, a mighty angel entered the city the next day. Her name was Zariel, which means companion of light. The prayers of Elturel had been heard, and help had come. Zariel located the gate through which the fiends were entering the natural world, on the fields of the dead west of the city. Zariel declared that she would lead the cavalry into Avernus, destroying the infernal host that was amassing there, and striking a great blow against the forces of darkness. The High Rider sent out the riders of Elturel, now numbering many thousands, with Zariel at their head, riding a golden mastodon. The great cry, Zariel and her army charged through the gate. The legions of Avernus trembled and buckled, but did not crumble. Zariel was defeated, and the remnants of her army returned to Elturel, overcome with grief at the loss of their glorious general, but confident that the lords of the Nine Hells would think twice about threatening Elturel again. There were great celebrations to honor the valiant knights of the cavalry, who became known as Hell Riders from that day on. She looks around and this is the story they tell us when we sign up to become Hell Riders and begin our training. The glory of the ride, striking down the fiends beyond, of protecting our home. He looks down. But it seems that wasn't everything. And that betrayal lurks in every corner. She goes quiet again.
Rhea, do you think the stories are true?
Some of them must be. The companion's light that hung over Elturel, the orb of light that shone above the city, the story of Zariel. Some of it must be true.
I dare say it probably is. Much of it will be embellished by now, but there's likely a thread of truth in there somewhere.
To sell the young folks like me on becoming Hell Riders like their fathers before.
Precisely, but it hasn't exactly all turned out negatively for you. You're quite a formidable young woman. Likely wouldn't be if you hadn't joined, you know?
No, Leo, you are very right. Just I fear for my people. The ones that did escape are in really no better condition trying to get into Baldur's Gate than those that have. You've seen the state of that city. Blood on every corner there.
Yes, well, Francis and I grew up in it. It's not the best of places.
I worry that I won't be able to save them, but I am going to try.
What if what is happening is a similar invasion to that in the story? Is there a gate somewhere out there right now that the creatures like we fought the other day came from?
She looks apologetic mostly. I don't know. I was a rider. I wasn't any tactician or mastermind or leader or anything like that. There
Had you
could
fought
be.
things like that before?
She shakes her head no. Those that worshipped them. Maybe the occasional smaller devil. Nothing like the one that looks back at Cyrus, the back of the cart there. Nothing like that.
Yes.
It's a bit unsettling that that thing is still out there, and if there's more of them.
Yes, all the times for me to miss, that probably wasn't the spot.
You did your best.
Do you think it will be back?
Oh, I'd say so. And if not, its friends will be.
It really wanted the shield, and since, well, we found out it's not going anywhere.
Perhaps it could be stored in Candlekeep. Would it be secure? Fallister, would you know if they'd have a place?
Oh, Candlekeep is the most secure. There are plenty of people there with great magical power, plenty of mages and wizards and priests of great renown. That yes, we have many rooms that have locks with no keys. It would be good to leave it there, I think.
If we can, let's see what we can do there then.
I'm sure somebody can help you with that.
I don't want to face that thing again anytime soon. She looks back at Cyrus. It hurt my friend, and I won't forgive it.
Yes, I think moving forward, we may want to enact some form of policy whereby we leave the sinister-looking artifacts in the, for lack of a better word, dungeons where we find them. It might be somewhat more, conducive to our longevity in this world. Especially Cyrus's. We all know apparently he can't resist attempting to die. So
Yes, I was.
at least
I
he's
was-
laughing. That's an improvement. He's barely moved for the past
I'm
hour.
sleeping, just laughing.
Funny dream.
Dude, Cyrus has to push it to the limit.
Seriously. Yes, I was only trying to help in the research that was being done there. I didn't realize I couldn't drop it down afterwards.
Yes, it's somewhat of an unforeseen consequence, I imagine. Oh well. Like Fallister says, from what I've heard of the place, I do believe those at Candlekeep will be best positioned to help us. I've heard they're marvelously resourceful.
Well, let's head there with great haste then. Best time to get off the road before that thing finds us again.
Okay. Well, yeah. And you continue on. Again, the weather turning a bit as you make your way towards Candlekeep. Over the past 4 days, the weather on the coastway has gradually worsened. Dark clouds release heavy rain until the road runs thick with mud. Yet you trudge on, passing by friendly merchant caravans heading north. Fortunately, none of them turning into flying devilish creatures hurling fire at you. On the morning of the 5th day,
That's
the
good.
rain subsides, but the dark clouds remain. Ahead, you see a path branch from the wider road heading to the sea. A raven perches solemnly on a leaning post bearing two signs that point like arms towards the west. One says, "The Way of the Lion," the other says, "Candlekeep." Baldur speaks up. We should be there by mid-afternoon if we take the road here.
What's the Way of the Lion?
The road that we will be on.
Oh, I see. Why is it called that?
Thanks, he scratches his head. Oh, maybe a lion walked here at some point in time. And this is the way.
Do we believe?
He doesn't seem convinced. And your time spent with Fallister is most everything he says is a joke or in some way sarcastic.
I mean, none of us know enough to disprove you, Fallister, so I'm somewhat inclined to buy into the myth.
Then yes, this is the way the lion went.
There you go. See, conviction, that's all you needed.
He seems satisfied with himself.
Well, way of the lion it is, I suppose.
Yes, let's go that way.
Proceed towards Candlekeep. The afternoon sun shines through the clouds to illuminate the gray walls and pale spires of a time-worn fortress that stands majestically atop a rocky promontory overlooking the sea. Trail leads. I'll pull this up so people at home can also see the lovely picture of Candlekeep as it sits over the edge of this cliff face.
That's a terrible job of parking a ship. Who parks it there?
It's fine. You know? It's totally
You have to wait
fine.
for very, very, very high tide. That's all.
Right. You continue forward. Carriage trundling along. Towards Candlekeep. At the gatehouse, you're greeted by 3 monks in purple robes. A human, a dwarf, and a sun elf, their skin golden in color. Around their necks hang the holy symbols of Danir, the god of riding, whose symbol is a lit candle above an open eye. Welcome to Candlekeep, the elf says. A gift is required for those seeking admittance. You must donate a book or scroll that already isn't in the library's archives. Please present your gift for inspection. Hopping down out of the cart, rather sauntering over to him, Baldur Fisk presents the collection of recipes from his grandmother over to the elf man.
Which V has memorized.
Indeed, all of those in there. Lots of spices you don't know, but yes, everything seems and sounds delicious there. Yeah, hands it over. The elf hands it to the dwarf there and the human. A moment, please, while we evaluate your gift. And he steps back to take a look at the recipes as well. There's some muttering and mumbling and smiles between the 3 of them there as they take a look over the recipe book. And the elf walks back and says, I don't think we have one of these. This is wonderful. A precious gift that you have given us here. Please, welcome to Candlekeep. The Court of Air is yours to peruse as you need to. The inn is open and has rooms available should you need lodging. The bathhouses are just inside. Should you need some time to... And he looks at all of you, still probably covered in blood and mud, need to wash off the dirt of the road. They push the gate open behind and open up into Candlekeep beyond. Cart trundles through into the Court of Air, and yeah, let's go ahead and just do a little Candlekeep map. Yeah,
Oh, it's been so long.
look at Candlekeep. Yeah, so some of the people at home will remember this from previous shows. But take a look at
God, I love Candlekeep.
Candlekeep here. Candlekeep is wonderful. So you would
It's like
find
the best setting they've made, I think. Candlekeep's awesome.
you'll find yourself in the Court of Air. Large, open area. You can see the green of the emerald door on the far side as you trundle through with your cart here. Yeah, and here, though it is a place of study, mostly a library, out here functions more like a city would. People moving about, carts and other supplies being moved between things, the sounds of work being done out here in the Court of Air as well. The inn to your south looks comfortable and warm. The bathhouses, steam rising from them, and the pillars of pedagogy. Study can be done up to the northern side. Ballister looks at you all and says, well, welcome to my home, I think. We could stay at the inn here. I will have access through the emerald door as one of the members of the interior. Should you need to have rest here, or for us to maybe leave the cart? I'm not sure what you want to do with Cyrus here, though.
Well, Cyrus, do you feel up to walking now?
Sure. And Cyrus, it's been about 4 days. You mostly feel okay. Have you tried walking in any of the like intervening nights that you've been conscious? No?
You've just been laying down.
Just laying down,
Soaking in his
contemplating.
own piss.
Okay.
Okay, come on.
Wow.
Jesus.
Well,
I would get up to go to the bathroom, I
well,
guess.
that's who you are. All right, then.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, do you want to try and stand?
Yeah, I'll try and stand.
Okay. Roll me an athletics check at disadvantage.
Why is it gotta be athletics though?
Because that is the strength of your body.
Oh no.
You're clearly not good at using it.
I mine is one of that. Maybe. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Hey, I got a 16.
You lean on the carriage and step out, legs definitely shaky underneath you. Been a while since you've used them, and you've never used them in this state before, right? This is, they've been reconstructed. Again, the striations of scarring across the legs belie that there was some tearing inside that happened in the rebuilding of Cyrus's lower half. It's shaky, but you are able to stand.
I will support myself a little bit more with my staff, and I'll just be like, yeah, I can walk. Still a little bit tired and stuff, but you know, I'm okay.
That's good.
Yeah, Fallister looks at you and the rest of the group. Actually, before I present us to my boss, maybe we do make use of the bathhouses. We are a bit of a mess.
Well, time for the onsen episode.
If you'd like.
I was
On.
Yeah. The bathhouse and steam house is closer to the gate here, and you can see steam rising from it and people making their way in and out. Though it has been rainy recently, it does look like there are baths available. Spacious rooms in the building contain heated pools for respite, and you see people engaging in casual conversation and some seemingly debating. There are also chambers with hot saunas and massage parlors.
I wonder
Well-
if this bathhouse has a basement.
Pallister looks curiously at you. I suppose we could ask, why would you want to proceed into a basement?
Oh, you know, holding hands with skeletons, nearly dying, murder, that sort of stuff, really.
Getting magic beans as well.
Oh, yes, magic beans, yes. I still got some of those, actually.
That is all very interesting. He walks over to one of the attendants and he has a quick conversation with them. There is a private bath that we would like to use it in the western side.
Lead on, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's lead the way.
Yeah. Well, a couple of attendants follow with like towels and robes and things like that and lead you out into a private, steamy chamber, clean with water and plenty of soap and other things of fragrance around as well. They'd leave you there with your things and exit the room. Ballister, without any caution or worry, just disrobes and steps into the water there and soaks in and goes, "Oh, it has been way too long since I've been able to do this. Did you know that being imprisoned in a basement, like the one that you were talking about, very uncomfortable, especially when you have devils poking and prodding at you with their bearded blades."
I mean, I'd imagine so, really. Can't be the most relaxing of pastimes.
Yes.
Just like in the first bathhouse episode, Cyrus is just gonna do exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Cyrus, you
Jump on
slowly
in.
get in. Slowly get in.
It was a euphemism.
Falling in.
It is, yeah, and it feels good on especially your rebuilt lower half here. It's relaxing and restorative, I think. Yeah. And Fallister looks, oh, I didn't mean to. There are other private rooms if you feel the need for propriety. I probably should have asked before, but it is just what we do.
Maybe us women should go separate, and me and Rowan and Rhea, I guess.
Yeah, Rhea kind of looks at, just gives you a quick nod. These people from out of town don't really understand, do they?
It's fine. We're just...
Yeah, and there's like a separate room off to the side of it. Ballister looks abashed, really. He's like, oh, I knew I was forgetting something. I'm sorry, towels are there on the bench. Enjoy.
I think like Rowan would be like scooting out as fast as possible, but V's like still kind of interested in the human body females. So she's still like giving one last look and stuff, and then okay. And then she'll follow.
Yeah. As you will. Francis, Hugo, do you partake in any of the relaxation of the area?
Yeah, I would happily have a bath, yeah.
Yeah, I'd get in, but I'd very carefully kind of put my gear within arm's reach on the side, I think.
Yeah. I think, fortunately for you, if you ever need a weapon, you just have to...
Yeah, that's the thing, like you can't disarm
summon
me,
it to your hand, right? Like,
but,
that's...
you know, single towel, sweaty is not the best combat look, I guess.
Sure,
so.
Yeah, exactly. And you can find yourself restoring within the baths here. Fallister looks around and says, so, if this takes you all the way to Avernus, are you going to go?
I mean, at this point, I'm rather counting on it, if I'm honest.
Indeed, why is that?
Well, I mean, everything awfully seems to be pointing in that direction, doesn't it? Now we even have a shield seemingly glued to one of our companions that's also demanding to be returned to Avernus, so... Realistically, I don't see any other way of resolving this. We already know something's happened to Elturel, and...
But what connection do you have to those people? Now, I understand out of the goodness of your heart, but... Hugo, Francis, you are both rather, I do not know how to say this nicely. Selfish?
Well, okay, first off, Francis is lovely. Secondly, I suppose so.
Nicest thing you ever said.
I have my own motivations, essentially, you know? We all...
I see. It's like, he like recognizes, like, so...
Yeah, I mean, I've still got my pendant on, realistically. So, well, yeah, I'm somewhat motivated to combat followers of that creed regardless, so...
And he notes, I mean, he obviously notes the pendant and stuff. He hasn't said anything about it, but you note clear recognition. Like, he's alert. He might be a spy, but he's definitely someone from Candlekeep. He knows his shit.
Yeah, I mean, when he clocks it, I'll just say, like, you might make your assumptions about me, and I assume most of them may even be correct, but you're probably wrong about some things.
I am a scholar and also a spy. People have many assumptions about me as well.
Well, I mean, we found you rotting in a basement, so...
I was not so good at spying there, was I?
No, not so much. And scholarship, not the most helpful in a scenario like that.
Very true. Though I did memorize the entire layout down there, it was just unfortunate that you had no use for my knowledge.
Yes.
Well, what about you, Francis? Seems Hugo has some need to go to Avernus, even if his needs are his own. What drives you?
I don't know exactly. I suppose I couldn't live with myself if I, just said, okay, I've seen enough. I'll leave you all to it.
It is the safer route. You have seen what happened to Cyrus, and that is here, on the material plane. Imagine the horrors of what is below.
I understand that it is incredibly dangerous, and I'm not ruling out the option just yet of bolting for the door, but I couldn't live with myself if I just abandoned this it seems that, I don't know, not that we've been chosen, but with the right people in the right place.
Yeah.
Yes, there's not really anyone else to pass it off onto.
Suppose that is true. Many of the heroes of the stories listed here in Candlekeep, well, they are dead and gone, or not around. Suppose it's time for new heroes, then?
I'm not so sure about being a hero, but I think heroes are somewhat made by the history, right?
Yeah,
How
you
many
are.
of them in actuality are?
You are a hero to
heroic?
me? Huh? Save me from my imprisonment of devils and whatever that family was doing.
Well, I suppose I'm a savior to you, perhaps, but I don't know if you'd call me a hero truly.
Maybe not yet. Cyrus, you have seen the most pain of all of them, though it is good to see you on your feet again. What drives you to Avernus? You are muted, sir.
So yeah, kind of funny story there. You see how I'm like, look like this?
Hmm.
My family doesn't look like that. It appears that I was, some might say blessed, by a god who currently is not very happy with me, but that's besides the point.
Gods are seldom happy, so this is tracks.
Fair. But yeah, he once, he would like to see the devils taken down a peg, I suppose.
A bit of justice for those below. Suppose.
Yeah, I mean, also it's like the right thing to do.
Right and wrong. So interesting how that is. Always so different between people.
But I feel like, kind of objectively speaking, it's the right thing to do to try and save Elturel if possible. Look, I'm not from there, not from Baldur's Gate. Maybe, I mean, from what I experienced in Baldur's Gate, not exactly the best place. But there are people in there that aren't awful. I think. So do it for them, not the evil conniving D-bags who are making deals with devils and threatening people because they're poor.
I suppose that is good. Using your blessing to help those in need. I suppose it is good that you lived then. How are you feeling?
Tired.
Huh.
Very, very tired. I feel a little, twisted up. I might need to go get one of those massage type things.
Well, once you have access here, you are welcome. Use any of the facilities available here in Candlekeep. Our gift allows us to have our stay for a time.
Alistair, will we be granted full entry into Candlekeep itself? I'm not really too sure how it works.
Indeed, I will grant us access through the Emerald Door and into the Inner Sanctum. As Silvira Savikis' understudy, compatriot, friend, they will allow us in as long as we send word ahead.
What can we expect to find in there?
Books, study. The Inner Sanctum of Exaltation is interesting, in that, though Candlekeep is very large from the outside, it is even bigger on the inside. There is definitely touches of magic about, and it is easy to get lost. So just stick by my side, and you will find our way. But as for what to expect, welcoming people, studious people. Try not to get caught up in any debates, though. Those can last quite a while, and your head can get right twisted round.
I mean, do Candlekeep take sides in conflict, or do they remain neutral?
It depends on what the conflict is. Candlekeep itself is a place of respite, of study. Though there have been times in the past that they have indeed sided with some of the larger cities. When places like Silvery Moon call for aid, Candlekeep will deliver what aid they can. Incredibly powerful mages at their disposal, though most of them are devoted to their own study.
Yes, I imagine there must be some quite powerful people here.
Do your best to not get on any of their bad sides. They may look frail of body, but you'll be strung up by magic faster than you can blink.
Do you think any of them would be so kind as to like put a symbol on my staff and kind of make it float there? Yeah. V helped me make a little thing. I like ruffle through my bag and I pull out the little sun-looking thing made of birch wood and some gold.
Yes, maybe. I suppose it would depend on what form of payment you are looking to give. Most inside here have no need of money, as Candlekeep provides. But things of interest, knowledge, stories, books, things of that nature tend to get you rather far. And there may be one willing to do so, even Silvira herself, if we have the time.
I might have some interesting things that they would find reasonable.
Interesting. You just wanted to float on your staff.
Yeah, yeah. I still want to be able to use it as a wacky stick.
A wacky stick.
Yeah.
What a request. Make this float, please.
Hey, we will see if any will take you up on your offer, but I will ask around in case.
What are we gonna do about that shield? While I was slipping in and out of consciousness, sleeping, it seemed like there was a lot of nonsense going on about it.
I mean, it seems like V's attached to it somewhat psychologically. I don't know if we'll be able to.
Yes, I don't think it's entirely of her own will.
Do
I
not
had a chat with whatever's inside it, and it doesn't exactly come across like the most benevolent entity.
I do not think you need to fear, my friends. Once you meet Silvira, I think everything will become clear. She has vast amounts of knowledge in things of this nature, and maybe she knows of the shield. Or if not, knows how to find out about it. The great library here is vast. And there must be something about a shield of this nature. Or of things like it. And maybe there is a way to free our friend V. But for now, I suppose we relax and clean up. And he goes and like grabs like a rather hefty scrub brush and some soap and begins to just like scrub down everything. I suggest you do the same. Silvira is rather particular about cleanliness.
All right.
This is where we flash over to the other room, where now we have all of our other friends. Maybe the shield propped up on the wall over there, as you know, Rowan enters the bath there, and yeah,
put it over. Oh,
yeah, you just place it down. You're not giving it away. It lets you
Sure.
place it down.
okay.
And Rhea, you know, do they enter the pool and relax? Rhea like sinking below the surface of the water for a time, a little bit longer than you expect her to, and then she comes back up and goes, "Oh, this is nice. This is." I can't help but feel a little bit guilty that I'm enjoying the respite provided here and not already on my way to help my people, but by the gods, this is nice.
Sometimes I wish I had flesh like you. It must be nice. I can sense the temperature change, but I can't really enjoy water that deep into my systems.
Do you feel pain, V? I've always wondered this. Watching you in combat,
Oh, yes. I
can't feel comfort.
Well, it's in a different sense than I think, you look like you're really relaxing. Mine is more like just a change of temperature touching my skin. I can feel it being a nice feeling, but it doesn't seem the same as the sensation you're getting.
Understood. Well, casts a glance over to the shield and what do you think about that thing?
I don't know. Rude seems like such a kind person when we first met him. Said that he was a celestial, and frankly, I believed him, but I've been doing that a lot. I guess I haven't really learned not trust people as much. I gotta work on that. I'm a little worried, but there's something, the way he speaks, it makes me want to assist in bringing him to Avernus. I can't explain it. Part of me knows that this isn't what I need to be doing, that I need to trust my friends, and that there's not a good thing, whatever it is. But I still have this yearning to bring him to Avernus.
It doesn't seem natural, like your own desire?
It's like my desire, my own, it's being mixed. I don't know how to explain it. I both want to bring him there and I don't. I don't seem, I've never had anything like this. It's difficult to explain.
Interesting. Well, if anyone has the answers, Candlekeep is probably it, right?
Yes, and that's what I'm hoping.
And I truly hope it is a celestial being, otherwise if we've been wandering around with some kind of fiendish entity, and that just makes my skin crawl.
Yeah. Hadn't considered that, but yep. Oh goodness, what have I gotten myself into?
No, please, I know you can't really feel as relaxed as this, but let's maybe get cleaned up. And, well, we'll deal with this after.
V's gonna grab like some water and like a towel and stuff and start just like cleaning, off and just like
all of the stuff.
metal, just like
Yep.
getting everything.
Yeah. A lot. Eventually on both sides there, attendants would come in and they would take the clothes and replace them with them being cleaned. Doesn't take much time at all. There's clearly some kind of magic in play here, as you note that your clothing and your armor has been mended, polished and shined. And Cyrus's robes have been mended up, and there's no evidence of like stitching or anything else. Everything seems to be magically put together.
Oh, I miss Clem.
Right, we never really talked about that, did we, so much? Clem was your, looks over to Hugo, butler?
Yes, he wasn't too dissimilar to you, actually, in some ways. We also found him in a dungeon, somewhat worse for wear.
He was also a spy.
Yeah, something like that. No, not really. He was more of a sort of an unwanted relative, really, who seemingly was then captured and tortured by the people in the bathhouse basement I mentioned earlier, actually.
They were torturing people in a bathhouse basement.
Yes, there was a lot of awful things going on.
Baldur's Gate is a terrible place.
Oh,
I agree.
It's quite awful. Yes, it's part of the reason I want to do it. Anyway, yeah. So essentially, he didn't really have anywhere to go, and he was staying in my house and eating all of my food. And I said, well, you could at least, clean up the place a little bit. And then he did, and then he exploded. So
I feel like we skipped a whole lot of steps within there about
you would actually be surprised as to how few steps we skipped, honestly. He ate some eggs and then he exploded.
He ate some eggs.
Yes.
Right, I remember the eggs. You planted some seeds in the courtyard after saving
Yes, it
me.
turns out those eggs, not in their normal form, but should you eat them, highly internally explosive.
But why?
I don't know. But
Why did you plant those seeds in the first place if something so dangerous could happen?
well, I'd got an inkling that something could happen, and I thought it would give us a way to escape. I didn't know that I was going to essentially create some noisy mushrooms, a campfire, and some
Blue campfire.
blue campfire, yes, and some sort of incredibly allergic eggs. I thought it would be something more useful, I suppose, would be. Not that those things aren't well, maybe not the screaming mushrooms, but those things could be useful otherwise. But, you know, I thought it would be something more useful for our situation, because we were quite cornered at that point.
It's true.
That's right, Hugo. I totally forgot about that. Don't you still have some left?
I do, yes. I believe I planted 3,
We should.
so
we
I've
should
got a few left as well.
probably put them wherever we're going to put the shield. This is not. Maybe we shouldn't plant anymore.
But if we do go to Avernus, you never know how
Yes,
useful.
if we're going to be in trouble, I'm going to keep them with me, because I believe I have 3, 4 left. I only have the original number. Whoops. I think I got 7 we agreed on. So I think I have 4 left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me actually add that so I don't forget.
Sure.
Again.
And while you do that, we're going to say that, hey, everyone's over at the inn now, having a quick drink before heading inside there. The pub has a low ceiling supported by massive wooden crossbeams and narrow shuttered windows. A large fire pit in the middle of the room is surrounded by half a dozen tables and matching benches. There's quite a lot of people in here, both guests and monks, enjoying each other's company, and a dozen patrons are here right now. The one that stands out the most is an ogre sitting by himself in a corner reading a book titled The Sum of Theology.
Ogre Magi.
Is the book really big, or has he got big glasses on?
He's got big glasses on. He's got this headband on as well. And the book is rather small in his hands, though it does seem thick.
Does he look friendly?
He looks nice enough, and people do walk by occasionally and chat to him, and he gives big, like, ogreish smiles as well. But yeah, back to what you guys were discussing. We happen to be at the hearth now after everyone's gotten cleaned up.
So what we've decided on with the beans, right, is plant 2 now, take 2 to a... No, let's not do that.
There's something kind of funny about the idea of planting in the middle of the courtyard just to see what would happen.
Well,
Yes, I think we might get in some degree of trouble should we do that. The screaming mushrooms might not be welcome.
I do not advise planting those here. Maybe we should leave Candlekeep first and then plant them outside.
Well, Clem, that sounds like somebody trying to be safe. But no, I don't think we should plant them here at all. I'm taking them wherever we may go.
Alternatively, I mean, there's a lot of really good mages here to be able to deal with whatever issues that come up.
You've already brought some sort of ridiculously evil shield into the party. Stop advocating for further chaos, okay? At least for now.
Do we know that it is evil?
I'm sorry.
We could
I'm pretty sure it's evil from the conversation I had with it.
I think just looking at it alone, it looks evil.
It does have a rather...
He looks like panicked at Rhea, like...
Yeah, I did mean to mention that earlier. I mean, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but it does look rather... It's fangs.
I thought it was just, like intimidation tactics for shields, right? You're supposed to...
But if it's supposed to be a celestial being in the shield, I don't think celestial beings are covered in spikes and
if
fangs.
It was
they could just put it in the
trapped
shield.
there, right?
Yeah.
If it was trapped there, then maybe it was created in such a way that would be intimidating, and people would think it's not a celestial, so they wouldn't free the being inside. So what do they call that? And Fallister looks at us. Reverse psychology? I think that sounds like something smart. Sure.
He's like nodding, like.
Yeah, it's like it's gotta be.
I think it's not. necessarily anything justifiable in the shield, to be honest. It could be
Well-
celestial, like you claim. Not all celestial things are good. Celestial things can actually be quite evil, I believe. So, yes, it could still be. I'm not ruling it out. All I'm saying is it's probably not somebody we want around too long. Have we tried feeding the shield some eggs? That could work.
I don't think the mouth on it works fully. Also, we have a bunch of like weird objects. We can probably maybe ask some of the mages here to be like, hey, do you know what these, like, all the scope of this, especially for the beans? Maybe next time we'll know a little bit beforehand, like, hey, it's gonna pop out a bunch of flowers, don't sniff them.
Cyrus,
Something
half
like
the
that.
fun is the surprise.
I disagree. Krillin died.
Yeah.
That's true,
It's
actually.
not fun. Well, what time is it currently?
You got here in mid-afternoon, so it's probably pushing closer to evening after the bath and now being at the inn for just a little bit of time. Yeah?
Okay. Well, maybe we should rest for the night and then, crack of dawn, we should try to get into the Great Library and see if we can figure out any of these items.
Well, I'm gonna go get a massage first.
All right.
Grab my
Head over, go get a massage, and yeah, I mean the inn is open for you to stay here if you would like to. And I think that's a good point for us to take a little bit of a break, and we'll get through the Emerald Door in the Great Library the next day. So yeah, let's do that. We'll be right back.
Fully.
You said that so scaringly.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Yeah,
Good.
sure. My
Yeah, no, he said the
machinations.
next day. I was like,
Welcome back, everyone, to Candlekeep. Wow, we actually finally got here. Look at us. This is great. After a restful night's sleep, Cyrus, you are now at exhaustion level 2, though you do still feel in pain. You have at least gotten 1 night's rest. Post-massage, which was also incredibly painful on your new appendages, you do find sleep, finally. Good. Very good. So, in the morning, Fallister Fisk would, meet you outside the inn here. He looks rather proper. He's wearing rather nice clothing. It seems he had hidden away in a bag somewhere, and he kind of looks sheepishly. He was like, I kept them clean because, you have to show up looking really nice for work sometimes, Anyway, he will take you up to the Emerald Gate. After talking to the guards here and alerting them to who he is, and a message being sent to Silvira Savicus, eventually you're let inside. It doesn't take super long. It's likely that they have magical means of communication to people throughout the inner sanctum here of the Great Library, and you would be allowed inside there. So, moving in, Fallister Fisk seems to know exactly where he is going, and as you enter Exaltation and the surrounding Great Library, what he said was correct. It is large on the outside, but inside it seems to go on forever. The twists and turns of the various different shaped buildings of different styles are all much larger on the inside than they are shown on the outside, and it creates a mass of maze that rather hard to navigate. Fortunately enough, you do have a guide to help you. The tower here is housing hundreds of monks and wizards, thousands of books and scrolls. You make your way to Silvira's laboratory, located in one of the spires here, Candlekeep. The walls of the circular tower chamber are punctuated by arched windows that are currently shuttered. Bookcases filled with eldritch volumes stand between the windows, while tables crowded with specimen jars and alchemical equipment and other clutter. Engraved into the floor of the chamber is a large 9-pointed star. A middle-aged tiefling, dressed in wizardly robes, stands by one of the windows, caught in a fugue of intense contemplation. Perched on the corner of a table nearby is a spindly little demon with warty green skin, buggy eyes, thin black horns, and a whip-like tail. Like that guy.
It's almost cute.
Almost cute, right? The tiefling turns around here, her reddish skin and long curling horns as she recognizes. I can't tell you how pleased I am to see you all. Especially you. And she did like a nod over to Fallister, and he smiles warmly, and they hug each other as he enters, and he's like, oh, it is so good to be home, Silvira. What have you brought me? As this agglomeration of people wander inside her sanctum. The little closet hops up and lands on her shoulder and bares its teeth in somewhat of a smile? It's hard to tell.
What is that?
Oh, this is Jezebel, my familiar. She adds just the perfect pinch of mischief to my life, so I've kept her around for quite a while.
Oh,
I'm going
hello,
to
Jezebel.
I'm going to attempt to say hi, Jezebel, in Infernal.
Yeah. It cocks its head at you. Unfortunately, Jezebel here speaks Abyssal. Quite different language than the Infernal that you have just said, though I understood your Infernal quite well. Where did you learn to speak it?
I was born knowing it. Same with Celestial. I'll say like hello in Celestial. It's like, yeah, my family doesn't look like this.
Case study. I will have to question you on that later, I think. That being said, please do come sit. Isabel, can you have one of the monks attend and bring some more chairs? It seems that we have many more visitors than I was expecting today. And Isabel will go bounding off down the hall. Eventually, a monk will come back carrying multiple chairs from the outside the hallway, and they fill the room here, situated around the 9-pointed star. Silvira will sit gracefully in her robes, crossing her legs, as Closet perches on the chair back behind her. So, Baldur, what have you brought me? Well, I was doing my bit of spying, and I was doing it really, very well. And I had gotten infiltrated in, and I was taking mental pictures with my mind of the layout of the underground cult activity that was happening there in Baldur's Gate, and then I got captured. I was thrown into a cell being guarded by some bearded devils. Fortunately, and he gestures broadly to the group here, I made some new friends. Well, I said I could take them to you because you might have some knowledge on the things that they carry, as well as Elturel. Seem to be quite keen on recovering it or saving it in some way. And Rhea here nods vigorously. So I give the floor to them, so they may ask questions of you, Silvira. I do not mind. She nods and smiles a bit. Right then. I note that one of those things that you carry, and she stares directly at the shield, is of quite great interest. What else do you have?
I will take out the box with the potential contract.
Yeah, and she looks at it, and she, like, her eyes widen, she holds out her hand. Please.
There you go.
She snatches it quickly and takes a look at it, and she's, Baldur, you should have led with this. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. I've been suspicious of the High Overseer of Elturel for a long time, but no one wanted to hear my concerns because Thavius Krieg was widely regarded as a hero who saved his city from an undead scourge, giving rise to the holy nation of Elturgard. Held as a savior, Thavius made all citizens of Elturel swear an oath called the Creed Resolute, which binds them to defend the nation of Elturgard. I met him years ago, and my instincts told me he was a bit of a charlatan. Afterward, I grew to suspect he had cut a deal with one of the more powerful devils, using the Creed Resolute to bind all of Elturel to his dark deal. I want to prove my theory, and this, she holds up the puzzle box, It's locked inside of here. She examines it, and then asks Jezebel to fetch her a flask of this dark liquid. He pours a small amount into the maze-like troughs carved into the box's surface. She then tips the box, so the liquid flows in certain directions in maze-like patterns until the box's horn inlay pops loose, and it breaks apart.
Oh.
Oh, cool. I love Jezebel's look.
Ah!
I could have done that, Cyrus.
No. Okay, so by the way, we tried to open it. She did first. She started feeling bleh. I thought maybe because of my relationship with, God, I could do it. No, I started feeling weird too. So I kept it from everyone else in the party because I didn't want anybody to get hurt.
I don't think tiefling kind of cute though. That's the real question.
Yeah, she's hot.
I think we were quite happy to let you have it, Cyrus.
Fine.
As it swirls open and places down on the table there, and she reaches inside the box, she looks over at Cyrus and says, "It's good that you did not make any more attempts to open it, otherwise it would have crushed your mind." And she pulls out a stack of 9 chain-linked plates, each 3 inches on a side, cast of dark iron, stamped with infernal runes. She lays it out in front of her on the table, begins to read. "Be it known that I, Fabius Krieg, High Overseer of Elturel, have sworn to my master, Zariel, Lord of Avernus, to keep the agreements contained in this oath. I hereby submit to Zariel in all matters and for all time. I will place her above all creatures, living and dead. I will obey her all my days and beyond with fear and servility. I recognize the dispensation of the device called the Solar Insidiator." She pauses for a moment, taps her chin. Interesting. "Hereafter called the Companion. In my capacity as High Overseer of Elturel and its vassal territories, I acknowledge that all lands falling under the light of the Companion are forfeit to Zariel. All persons bound by oath to defend Elturel are considered forfeit. I further recognize that this dispensation will last 50 years, after which the Companion will return to whence it came, taking Elturel and its oath-bound defenders with it, if that is Zariel's wish. This is my everlasting pledge." Rhea begins to cry.
Yeah.
Yup.
Did Rhea tell us that Zariel was the angel who saved them or helped them?
I think so, yes.
Silvira nods. She
Good
was.
lord.
She was
Fabius
trapped
Krieg needed
there.
to consult with a legal firm. That was awful. It's a terrible deal.
Gods.
I can't believe he would. I mean, there's betrayal and there's machinations, and then there's that.
They're selling out an entire nation worth of souls to a demon. Aye. This goes beyond anything I thought he might have done, but it is good to have confirmation. And she nods over to Faustus. "And if it wasn't you that brought it to me, I'm glad that you brought the people." Damn. She reaches over and she gives Rhea a handkerchief from her pocket in one of her robes there and hands it over, and Rhea begins to try and stifle her crying. Does seem quite hopeless at this point. That being said, she points at the shield. Where did you come by that?
Fabius said that he was researching it. And, well, I was curious.
And you picked it up, didn't you?
I did.
And it spoke to you, didn't it?
Yes,
And
Yes.
now you can't quite let go.
Please tell me I can.
Oh, it may be more complicated than that. The shield is a symbol of good's triumph over evil. Gazing at the beauty, though vicious, one can easily overlook the terrible force bound within it. Its name is Gargoth, I believe, though it will call itself the Hidden Lord. V, you feel anger emanating from the shield. Just an intense amount of hate.
She just doxed him. I mean, that's not very nice.
Yeah. It was a
Gargoth.
pit fiend sent by Asmodeus to corrupt mortals on the material plane. And there, it amassed such a following as that to rival gods. In that way, Gargoth became a sort of demigod. Having worshippers increased its powers exponentially. But oh, how the mighty have fallen. And again, you feel an immense amount of just hate emanating from the shield. The shield has the power to corrupt everything around it. The Hune family of Baldur's Gate had kept it for years. Doubtless, they are going to want it back. But this shield should not be taken to any place where thousands of mortals reside. It should be locked away in an extra-dimensional space, away from corruptible souls.
So if he's locked in a shield, this Gargoth, who, by the way, I've had a chat with him as well, lovely fellow. If he's locked in a shield, why does he want to return to Elturel?
He wants to go to Elturel.
Not Elturel, sorry, Avernus. English is hard.
She thinks
Omen is hard.
Maybe the foolish fiend thinks they may be freed there.
V's gonna like look at the shield and like think, to it and be like, so it was all lies.
No, I will serve you faithfully. Take me to the Nine Hells. I swear, I will guide you and advise you in the ways of Avernus.
Did you not hear what she just said? She said you corrupt everything. You're a fiend. You're not a celestial. You lied. And
It is
I
the nature
believe
of things.
I trusted you. I wanted to help you.
You are going to help me. You made a promise. You made a deal.
And V's gonna like turn to her. I was tricked, and I made a deal with the shield to bring it to Avernus.
Huh.
Is there any way to break such a deal?
Completion of the pact would be a good start. Breaking it may be a bit more difficult because your side of the deal will then be forfeit and, well, if I know fiends, likely your soul will be as well.
She's gonna like look at it. My friends, I don't know if I can continue with you. I don't want any of you being in this much danger for such a foolish thing that I did. I'm willing to sacrifice my soul so that others won't be hurt, but you have to promise that you'll have to take care of the shield and put it and lock it away.
V, I don't mean to ask this in an offensive way, but given your origins, do you have a traditional interpretation of a soul?
My father has always said that when I began life, it was through means of putting my soul into this body, to tying it down and interweaving it. So I believe I do.
suppose that is the measure of a man. Ultra reference.
I mean, we can also just like take the shield and like kick its ass while we're there.
Yes, I was thinking that actually. We could take it with us and then just, you know,
But
apply our usual.
apparently it's a pit lord.
Well, I don't know what. Yes,
I don't-
that's a good question actually. Sorry, a pit fiend. How big a problem are we talking here?
Oh, well, you are speaking of a pit fiend that might still have the powers of the demigod that it became. So,
Right.
We have Cyrus and he glows in the dark, so
I don't. It's not.
quite
if we
powerful
bring it-
that.
If we bring it there and it's released and we're not able to deal with it, hundreds of thousands might lose their life. Who
true.
knows what chaos this thing will bring when it gets
V,
out.
do you remember the exact wording of your deal?
Do I remember the exact wording of the deal, honestly? Okay.
It was made sort of in a rush.
Yeah, it was. I told it that I would bring it to Avernus. I suppose I didn't say how deep into Avernus, but
What if you? This might seem silly, but you said you had to bring it to Avernus. What if you stepped across the threshold and stepped right back? You brought it to Avernus.
Well,
So, would that be
as
enough?
a lawyer, did you specify when you would take it to Avernus?
Yeah, maybe set it down for a little bit and
Set it down for a few thousand years, and you know,
I mean,
You
you don't
haven't
have a
not taken
normal
it to
physical
Avernus.
body, so
if there were no terms established, then theoretically it doesn't really hold any sway over you.
it's true. I don't believe I said when, and V's gonna like listen to like the shield and see if they're saying.
It's just like, bruh.
It's
I don't believe we did specify those terms, Rude.
address me by my name, mortal, now that you know it.
No, I seem to like this one. I think it's more fitting.
Just angry. Just so angry.
Just so
Just so
Me
mad.
angry.
so salt.
Yeah.
Is there no way we can, I don't know, sort of, you know, cleanse the shield? I'm not really the most arcane of person. Is there no?
I think actually the best place for it is inside that shield, where it is. Its power is mostly encased. It is trapped there.
Yes, I mean, you certainly know better than me. I'm just thinking
No.
if there's any way we can get it off our friend's arm, essentially.
V, did you bathe with that on?
No, I was able to drop it down. I just, when trying to hand it to Hugo, I couldn't. Let me see. And then she's gonna like attempt just to put it down onto the chair.
Yeah.
And stand up.
It allows you.
Okay. And she steps a couple of steps away from it.
Is that it? Was it as simple as that?
I just, for some reason, I
If we
can't
keep
give it to
backing
anyone
away-
else.
So do you have any like, I don't know, like magical boxes that we could like put this in that would theoretically keep it there?
We have plenty of interdimensional spaces that we could utilize.
Cool.
Is-
Let's do that. Let's kick the chair with the shield on it into the thing, and boom, problem solved.
It is a room that I will need you to carry it to.
Well, we'll just pick it up by the chair.
Yeah.
Fine.
Alternatively, is there like a box or something that we could keep it in that would also protect it? So let's say I carry the box to Avernus. And it
But
would
why
still be
bother if
trapped
it's-
into. That's true.
I say we throw it in the room on the chair. see what happens. Hopefully nothing.
Okay. Yes. You know.
Well, I would say, however, for the sake of, avoiding temptation or any form of, unconsensual influence, V probably shouldn't be the one to carry the chair and perhaps should keep a distance.
Well, Francis, you picked those mushrooms with that magical power, right? Perhaps you can help in this situation?
I don't think it has the power to lift a chair with a large shield on it. I think my ears might explode if I tried to do that.
I've had enough of exploding, so probably not that then.
But I'm happy to carry the chair, and I still have a vial of holy water, so perhaps if I, rinsed my hands with it beforehand, get sterile, and I could carry it that way to avoid the influence.
I suppose that might work. I mean, we're basing that essentially on absolutely nothing, but it might work.
No, Hugo, this was my mistake. I will do it.
I was going to say make Cyrus. Rowan could do it. She doesn't complain. Rowan loves it.
I don't want anyone else to be influenced. It's my burden to carry. I will do my best. Just
wait, hang on. Aren't we surrounded by mages? Can't somebody just levitate it there or something?
I really have no desire to interact with the shield. Its corrupting influence, rather powerful.
Oh, so we just make sure nobody touches it, right? So do we wrap it in a cloth and lift on the chair? I don't know.
I will provide the room. However you decide to transport it is up to you.
Well, that's incredibly half helpful of you. Thank you. I suppose, well, yes, if there's no better solution being offered, we'll lift it by proxy.
So how?
Cyrus and I, Francis and I. V, I really don't think you should touch the thing.
I really don't want you guys to accidentally touch it either.
We're fine.
Yeah, I have enough bad influences in my life. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I have walls built around my mind that nothing could penetrate. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
That right?
That's why his spellcasting is so fiercely powerful.
Challenge accepted.
Challenging.
Yes,
Interesting.
if it tries anything, Francis can cast vicious mockery.
Make fun of its name.
Metal-faced oaf.
Okay.
Let's do it then, Hugo.
All right, yes, I'll okay, very well. Yes, I'll grab the back of the chair and kind of prefer the legs to Francis, I guess.
I guess I'll take
this.
I will also sprinkle a little bit of holy water on my hands.
Yeah. And you get closer to it. And the room becomes very, very dark. A shadow seems to emanate out from the shield.
Oops, put the lights on, please.
Everyone to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
God damn it.
Fuck you, shield.
22.
Natural one.
Yeah, you know what makes
rolling.
sense.
Hang on. Why? Oh, I had to refresh. Sorry. Yeah, 14. I didn't roll with me.
I got an 11.
If I failed anything, I'm gonna add a dice to it.
Add it.
All right, nice.
Oh, wait a minute.
The shield's eyes seem to glow
19 now.
as the darkness emanates outwards, and you feel yourselves full of fear, of dread. Cyrus, you're able to suppress the worst of it here, but V, tunnel vision on the shield itself, and it reaches into your mind and says, "Do not let them take me. You cannot let them take me."
And I'm just under that influence, right? So, okay. Wait, I've changed my mind. We have to save. And she's actually gonna cast Wall of Fire to see if she can split them
Wait,
from.
she's not holding the shield though.
Oh yeah, you haven't got the shield. You can't do that.
You have to be holding the shield.
Okay, good.
My goodness.
Okay. That's what she would do.
She's like,
Do we notice V's yelling at us, right? To stop.
I guess she's gonna run to the shield
When she
then.
starts, as soon as she starts, yeah, I would say like, Rowan, Cyrus, grab her.
But what do me and Hugo feel anything? I
You
got an
feel
11.
you feel afraid. You feel fear. You cannot approach the shield. You cannot.
Fuck shield. What about me with the 19?
No.
Oh goddamn this shield.
Bee's running. Stash actioning.
Yeah.
It's like,
Silvira's just sitting across the room. She's saved, and so she's just looking at
Damn
the
it.
shield.
it's like having a Renault Clio running at you. Jesus.
Shout out to the exhaustion, because
Yeah.
my speed is halved. Otherwise, I'd be able to beat V there.
V, you get to the shield first.
Hmm.
Silvira just shakes her head. And, well, it seems as if that decision has been made for us then. Looks like Gargoth will be going with you. The
So
darkness fades away as you touch the shield.
Yeah, V takes the
I
shield.
would like to speak Infernal.
Let V do what she was doing first
Okay.
before you walk over it.
V takes the shield, and I would think that she comes down from that command, essentially,
Mhm.
right? And she's looking at it, and she just fear, and she puts it like behind her and says, I can't. I have to protect it. I'm so sorry. I can't let you guys go with. Did you see that? I must go to Avernus.
Yes, it seems as though our fate has somewhat been forged in that regard. Very well. Well, perhaps our new friend has enemies in Avernus, and we'll find someone there to help us with it.
So, just saying this in Infernal. So, Silvira, do you think you could put our friend here to sleep? She's not a normal fleshy entity, but you might know something. Then we can kind of like drag her body there, and I don't know. Actually, do you think you could put the entity in the shield to sleep?
No.
Okay.
Can anything harm the entity in the shield?
He's speaking in Infernal, so like
Oh shit.
the conversation here is
Yeah.
just in that. You can ask her that, but just letting you know.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, my bad. I forgot they're speaking of Infernal.
She answers in common here. While the shield holds Gargoth there, he is invulnerable until freed. You will find it incredibly difficult to destroy the shield, much less the entity inside. It would take a lot of power that even I do not have to be able to do so. Though I do think he is secure in there. The magic that was used to seal Gargoth inside is quite powerful. And V, you feel just, again, anger from the shield. Just so angry at being confined.
Shut up, you're getting your wish.
Quiets and grumbles a bit. I think, though, the shield, Gargoth may not be happy to hear it. Avernus may not be enough. The magic there is strong, but the sealing done on that shield to keep him inside, I think might be strong. Again, just angry. B, roll me an insight.
All right. 19, of course.
You sense fear from the shield, from Gargoth.
Oh, well, this is emotion that you haven't shared with us yet.
What
Are you a little bit afraid?
I'm not afraid of anything. I'm a god. Do not fear.
Demigod. If that.
Oof. Got him.
He shuts up.
So now what? How do we go to Avernus?
Right, so, The only way into Avernus that we know of right now is by plane shifting. Now, here in Candlekeep, though, I cannot cast that spell due to the wards cast on this place, but I can get you there to a place that will take you. You'll be meeting a friend of mine, a wizard named Traxxagore. Lives in a tower about 20 miles from here. I've loaned him a spellbook or two, so he owes me a favor. I can have you delivered safely to his tower. He can use a plane shift spell to take you straight to Elturel. Even more importantly, Traxxagore is looking after an old friend of mine, someone with a history of battling devils in the Nine Hells. I think you'll enjoy her company very much. Her name is, Lulu. You'll meet her when you arrive. Now, that being said, here, she, shuffles through some things and pulls out a long, rolled-up piece of parchment. Shows you this. Now, this here is a map of Avernus. Now, it might not be entirely reliable. The creator went mad making it. So just be aware. This is the only known existing map of Avernus on this side, so do take good care of it.
I can't wait to visit the hell wasp nests.
I would be incredibly
delightful.
careful about those. There are stories that when they kill you, they place their eggs inside and you explode outwards, your body becoming a hell wasp itself.
Enough explosions.
Yes, we don't need any more egg explosions, thank you.
Oh, well, if you aren't a fan of explosions, Avernus is actually quite the wrong place to be. Meteors and fireballs and things of that nature just do go off from time to time.
I will say the demon zapper sounds awfully useful.
Yes, well, Avernus is the plane where the blood war is being fought between demons and devils. Zappa is quite useful in the devils and staving off any incursions of the demons themselves.
V's gonna look at the shield and upon seeing this map, where was it exactly that you wanted to go?
Just take me to Avernus.
Well, seeing as we're going to have to go now, and you did promise me power, you may as well unlock it entirely so that I can keep you safe.
When you keep your
Course.
promise. No more of this. I do not trust you. You attempt to leave me.
Of course I attempt to leave you, but it looks like we're stuck together. So as much as I don't enjoy this either.
I have given you enough. And take me to Avernus.
You know, I'm not feeling so shy with you. It's very strange. I guess it reminds me of another person that I don't like as much. But I'll
become more
take you there for
likable
now.
for you.
I'm gonna call Rhea over. Hopefully she's settled down a bit.
She's recovered. I mean, she was afraid of the thing, the shadowy darkness. She's just been kind of observing all of this, right? Again, because what she wants is to go to Avernus, but there's a lot happening here.
Yeah. I'm gonna point to the Crypt of the Hell Riders on the map and say, possibly an okay place to go. You know, if you wanted to pay respects or something. Don't exactly know what it'll be like. I assume everything in the hells are not exactly great, but
If
Are you-
we have time, our mission should be to save as many souls in Elturel as possible.
of course.
Bound to the city I am, by the creed, I must return. And if Zarya wants my soul, she stiffens a bit. He's welcome to try and take it.
I like your grit, I must say.
That's all we have left.
You're not
Rhea,
wrong.
I'm so sorry to have to intermingle whatever shield thing this is with your fight. But if it does give me power, I'll try to save as many souls with you as possible.
She looks at you very seriously. I don't care where the power comes from if it helps me save my people.
Of
Well, that's
course.
good. I think that attitude will
I have spent
help us all work together.
too long believing in the goodness, the creed. I will do whatever it takes now. Looks very, very serious about this.
Hmm. All right, so
Oh.
one last thing before we go. If you wouldn't mind us looking about, Hugo has something that I would like you to take a look at, please.
Do I?
And Silvira steps in. What do you mean?
Hugo, we should at least know what they do.
Oh, yes. Sorry, you panicked me for a moment there. Yes, nothing else. I do have this small pouch of magical beans that grow campfires and eggs and screaming mushrooms. Would you like to take a look at them and
Do you
help?
mind?
Oh no, please be my guest, and I'll hand her the pouch.
She takes the pouch and it's a rather small pouch with these seeds, right? And she puts it out on her table and thanks. It takes a look at it. Like, huh. Said it grew magic mushrooms.
Screaming mushrooms, yes.
Screaming campfire.
Nothing anything as fun as magic mushrooms. Yes, a blue campfire and some eggs that one of our friends ate and exploded.
Jezebel, did you go retrieve my Book of Wonders? Yes. Jezebel goes bounding away. He'll return in a moment. These are very curious.
I found them in a dead guy.
Inside a dead guy?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Like a mummy.
It
Yeah,
was
like a
amongst all
mummy.
the embalming fluid or something, wasn't it?
No, it was in his chest cavity. I saw that it had been incised, and I opened it up.
There are very specific reasons why I never became an adventurer. And she looks over at Fallister's like, this being one of them. No, thank you. Jezebel returns with this thick tome that's carrying above her little closet head. Slams it down on the floor. Thank you, Jezebel. He goes, "Ah!" and jumps up on the table and looks at her. Picks up the book and starts flipping through it. Well, there are different writings, wonders like this. Now, the story I'm thinking of was, there was a boy named James? The story goes that James, and his mother were very poor, and he was given their last cow to sell so they may go buy some food. Now, while I'll never understand why they didn't just butcher the cow and eat it, I will never understand, but instead of returning with money and food, he returned with magical beans. Now, his beans grew a giant beanstalk that climbed to the clouds, where he found a castle of cloud giants, and there are some things there as well, but yours didn't do anything as spectacular as that, just explosive eggs, a bonfire, and screaming mushrooms. Seems that you didn't get that lucky then, huh?
No, but I'm not averse to trying again.
Well, I would advise not trying it here in Candlekeep. That would be most disastrous. Though if you are looking to destroy other things, I suppose Avernus is a blasted place enough. You could just plant them there and see what happens.
Maybe I'll plant them at the Demon Zapper. We can have a lot of fun.
Could be interesting. I would advise caution. A beanstalk to somewhere in Avernus may not be exactly what you're looking for. And who knows what else these might do. In my records here, I will need to do some more research if we are to find anything else. This wasn't necessarily something that interested me at the time, just a funny story.
Curious.
Just be careful. And she pouches them up and hands them back to you. The exploding eggs sound right dangerous.
Yes, they are a little bit, I think. Silvira, I do have another question, actually, before we go. I noticed on the map, taking a look at it, the map you gave us, that there's actually a monument to Tiamat. We've had some trouble with Tiamat-focused people. You may notice my armor is actually styled somewhat in the fashion of dragons.
I was going to ask.
Yes, I also took this off a dead person. A lot of my things I came into possession that way, actually.
It's tiara too.
Oh yes, and V has a tiara, which is awfully nice. So yes, we've run into some bother with people who didn't like the fact that we came into possession of these items, who seem to be quite devoted to Tiamat.
Yes.
So I was wondering, is there any risk of further encounters of that regard, or perhaps this is just an ancient ruin, or do you know anything about it is what I'm asking in essence.
She like points at the Tiamat. The tiara. Where did you acquire that?
In a basement.
Yeah, just various basements.
Was it amongst
Yeah,
anything
that.
else?
Yes. Some money.
Oh, what would you call it? Maybe a minor hoard of treasure?
I would more use the phrase loose assortment, but yes, I suppose you could call it a hoard.
Maybe the piece of a larger hoard of treasure?
They had mentioned this, I believe, yes.
We actually took this stuff from a group of, and I'll pull out the ball statue Harlequin mask. We actually took that from the Dread 3 cultists, and when we were coming out of that, see her shake her head. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
When we came out of that den, we were accosted by some dragony masked individuals.
Cultists of Tiamat who were tracking
Yes.
the horde of Tiamat, of which they can feel the location of.
Yes.
Right. So, yes, I think you might have some issue there.
I have a couple of items that people can just sense.
Here's the problem, though. I quite like my armor. It's awfully handy. I wear it a lot. I actually barely wear anything else, to be honest. And it keeps me alive. I don't know if this is part of the horde or not, because I actually took it off one of them, so hopefully it's not. But also, I feel like mixed into our money quite a lot at this point are several pieces of that horde.
Be hard to tell the difference between them, wouldn't it?
I fear we may have endangered some innocent shopkeepers by giving them some as well.
Oh.
Some inns and children and.
If they can sense where that is. Whoops. Oh, the children. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Never mind. They'll be fine. Don't worry about that.
Oh no.
She just looks at the group. I have no answers for you on this one. You have set your path. Good luck.
Would you like some of the horde? Then you can join us on this perilous adventure.
Absolutely not.
Jezebel? Hmm?
Just like looks at you and
I think
yells.
that's a yes. And that might be a yes.
Jezebel like toddles, holds out its tiny little hands. She, Jezebel, no! And just
Oh,
like
fine.
hops back away. Not now. Oof.
Well, I guess, yeah, my question really was just the monument to Tiamat. Do you know if it's do you know anything about it? Is it active? Is it
I
not?
have
Or-
never been to Avernus. This was
Oh.
mapped by someone who ended up going insane in doing so. I do not have knowledge of the current state of it, other than apparently Elturel has been dragged there.
Well, maybe this this friend of Traxxagore's, Lulu, was it?
Yes.
Maybe they'll know more.
Lulu is a sweetheart. Just be gentle with her. She's seen a lot.
But you said she's slain a lot of devils, right?
She did. A long
Nice.
time ago. Right then. I suggest getting as much rest as you possibly can. And when you feel ready, I will transport you to Traxxagore's tower. Is there anything else that I or Candlekeep may help you with? It is honestly a mission of great importance, though it doesn't seem that many can mobilize themselves to take part. It is incredibly dangerous.
I have a request, if it's not too much to ask. Could you like enchant this little self-made holy symbol so that it sits atop my staff, but I can still use it to hit people with?
You just want it to like be fused to the top of your staff.
Not like I want it to like float, because I think that would look cool.
You want it to float.
And maybe sometimes I could make it like spin or something.
Because it looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be that much bother, to be honest.
For confirming my suspicions and bringing me the puzzle box. Fine.
Nice.
You like hand her the things.
Yeah.
And she just stares at you and makes like this lazy gesture with her hands and says something under her breath, and then some reddish like magic goes out and it seems to around the symbol. She picks up the staff and hands it back to you and goes, "Does it look cool?" It like sits there and bobs up and down and floats.
But it does look pretty cool.
I am
Look
going
quite nice.
I'm going to kind of like half-heartedly, like swing it
shake
around to make sure that like I can still hit people.
I assure you, it is quite well attached.
Thank you.
Well, I suppose, Silvira, in terms of other requests, really the reality is you're probably aware that what we're doing is both quite important and quite dangerous, so
Indeed.
I don't think it's too much to ask. What assistance can you offer us, really, even in terms of material aid,
I do not have much of my own. Candlekeep. We may be able to requisition you some. What are you looking for?
I mean, anything to do with, sustained survival, healing potions being probably amongst the obvious ones. Anything of that ilk, really. Combat survival
We
gear.
maybe could also use a little bit more holy water. I may or may not have wasted some of mine.
Well, you will find that most things here. There are not many places of worship or clerics of the kind. Mostly filled with arcane magic and study. So if we can find some holy water for you, I'll see what I can do. That would be quite useful. Right.
I have one final request, if that's okay.
Make it now before you leave.
And she's gonna like turn awkwardly to like Fallister. I don't know if you ever found this, but she's gonna like take off her like the headpiece, like showing like her actual body, like her face. I have some blueprints of mine, and I was wondering if you've ever seen anything identical to these. It would help me greatly.
He looks over at Silvira. I can take a look. I cannot promise much, though. I am a spy, if you will.
Either of you, of course.
She nods.
Silvira.
Right, all right. Show me.
And so she's gonna like give out like all of the. At this point, they're very wrinkled from people like actually have probably Saddam and everyone has like looked and like kind of.
And she rolls it
They're a
out.
little off.
She like keeps the corners down with like a skull, and then like places Jezebel on one of the other sides, so it just like holds the things open. And she begins to like swirl her hand around, and you note that like the wrinkles begin to smooth out. Be like pressing the paper here.
Oh, thank you.
Right, so what am I looking at? I am not necessarily mechanically minded, though magically so. And she points at like different points on the blueprint. Magical infusions here, here, and here. Interesting. spells I would have used. Oh. Interesting. This is your blueprints?
Yes, and it's not too much. I just, if you've ever seen anything like it, it's important to me.
There are similar constructs, if you will, though none with your spirit or mind that can be found. Sometimes in Waterdeep, they come from someplace across the ocean. But nothing like this. Do you mind if I make a copy?
For how much you've helped us, I think that's fine. But just make sure that if you do have a copy, keep it very safe. There is some danger with these blueprints that I haven't
I
said.
assure you,
Just make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands again.
there is no safer place than Candle.
She's gonna let her.
Yeah.
She got her answer, so she's content. She just wanted to make sure.
He watches this, she waves a hand and this quill and ink dips down, another parchment lays out. It just begins essentially printer style, jotting the whole thing down as she looks at it and studies it. I apologize, V. I've not seen anything like this. The spells, I recognize the arcane magics yet. Technological nature of it, though, not familiar.
That's okay. You don't know how much relief that brings me. That means he wasn't here yet.
This would have made a great gift at the door, though I understand your apprehension for maybe giving it.
Yes, it's not something that's just a simple gift, but I trust you. You've done a lot.
If I see it, I will try to find a way to contact you. You know, if you survive Avernus.
Yes, that for sure. I have very strong companions. We'll be alright.
Good. Well then, she hands back the original blueprints there, and it looks like the printer has finished rather quickly. Is there anything else that I can do, or would you like to take a last bit of respite, or heading to Traxxagore's?
I mean, I'm happy to head out, really.
Yeah.
All right. She reaches for a little notebook, and then hands it over to the group. Just in case you need some light reading on the... She hands you essentially a book of the 9 hells and notes thereof. You ever feel like you need some light reading? The information may be used. Now, let's get you ready for Traxxagore. Silvira ushers you to a crescent-shaped landing platform with a stunning view of the sea. Waiting for you atop the platform are several griffins with saddles, their handlers standing nearby to help you. The griffins have instructions to fly you to Traxxagore's tower, says Silvira. Don't worry, it's safe. Each griffin can carry 1 rider plus gear, and they are all ready for you. Ballister walks up to the griffins. This is where we must part. Unfortunately, I am not suited to the horrors that you will see in Avernus.
Oh, well, thank you for the encouragement.
Helmet goes back on. That's fine.
He does hold out a satchel. We were able to procure some of the things in the interim amount of time. Messages go quickly throughout the library here. And he looks... You should find inside some of the holy water, a couple of healing potions, and, well, a bit to eat.
Lovely.
I made one of my grandmother's recipes. It may be a bit spicy, but I think you'll enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
With that, you all mount the griffins.
With some degree of uncertainty, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, V doesn't like horses. We're talking.
Yeah,
Flying.
these are flying horses.
So Cyrus gets on and immediately immediately starts getting real nervous. It's possible that Cyrus has suffered a little bit from some conditioned aversion from heights.
Yeah, that would make sense. And once you're all mounted, Rhea, again with some apprehension too. She's practiced at riding, being a hell rider, but never flying. Once you're all saddled up, Silvira approaches the group and gives a pat to one of the griffins there and says, "They will return to us once you've deposited there and had a short little rest. Travel safely, and good luck. Don't die."
Thanks.
We'll be back.
And with that, the griffins take flight, and they head out the sea, flying just below the clouds. Candlekeep looks no less majestic from the air, but grows smaller as the griffins soar westward. Large rocky islands pass below you, and beyond them lies the open sea. After a long journey, you see a windowless, doorless stone tower, which somehow floats in the sky ahead. The griffins pass through jagged holes riddling the tower's conical peak to land on the top floor below, which has a spiral staircase leading downwards. What do you want to do? It said you've landed here. You're on the griffin back. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna make you get on or off of them.
I assume somebody will
Yeah.
have seen us approaching.
Nope.
Well,
okay.
No one has approached.
Okay.
Off you go, Francis.
I don't feel very well. Hello.
Well, you know what? I want to get off of this thing.
I'll start
I'm
from
getting
there.
off so I can be essentially on the ground, and I'll start walking.
Yeah, and if you all dismount, Rhea will as well. A little bit shaky-legged. That's what flying feels like. That was exhilarating and terrifying.
It's not as bad as falling, though.
No, I suppose it wouldn't.
I guess I'll start descending the stairs.
Sure,
Yeah, we're
absolutely. Descending the stairs, one level down here, you see a cluttered chamber illuminated by various objects upon which continual flame spells have been cast. Scurrying around the room is an otter dressed in a tiny red cassock.
No way.
The otter mumbles to
He's
itself
he's an otter.
in common,
Okay.
mentioning something about a tuning fork.
Has he wished himself
Suddenly,
into an otter?
it takes notice of you and stands upright. Lulu, wake up! Our guests have arrived! The sound of her name, a small elephant with golden fur appears from under a pile of blankets near a table strewn with alchemical equipment. The elephant takes to the air on feathery wings and lets out a pleasing trumpet sound. That's Lulu.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Avernus is a
I
lot
love
cuter
it.
than I was
I
expecting.
love it.
Oh, welcome, friends. Welcome. He looks down and kind of adjusts his robes in his little otter form. He's about 1.5 feet tall, right? And he comes waddling over to you. Welcome to my tower. I am Traxxagore. This is Lulu here. And Lulu gives another little trumpeting sound and goes, "Hello."
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Hugo, and these are my friends.
Oh, it's wonderful to meet you all. Silvira said that I was going to be making new friends today.
I mean, hopefully she wasn't wrong.
Yes.
I am so incredibly confused.
Which portion of this is confusing, my glowing friend?
All of it? I was expecting,
Yeah, let me lay it out for you. I am Traxxagore, the wizard. This is my tower. This is Lulu.
Yeah, I'm not stupid, which is why I'm wondering why you're not humans. I was expecting they didn't brief us
Who
about
in their
the
right
fact that you were an
minds
otter.
would ever pick to be human?
Cyrus, you can't just ask people if you're human or not.
I mean,
Look, it's a little out of the ordinary to see an elephant and an otter moving, talking, and one of them flying and golden, and one in robes. Was just a bit of a shock. Are you? Is this? I've never met any of your race. Is this?
Oh, no, not the otter race. Though there are actual studies of races like otters, and also like cats, and like elk and birds as well. Bird folk, they call them, far across the sea. Anyway, no, I was polymorphed into an otter years and years ago. I preferred that form because, well, I was getting along in my years, and this form is much more, and he like jumps up and down and runs around a little bit, much more sprightly. So I made a wish, and so I am now, gestures down at himself with his tiny little otter paws, I am now Traxxagore, the wizard otter.
I think you look great.
I mean,
Why,
I
thank you.
applaud your creativity, to be honest.
Oh, thank
it's
you.
a look. It's a look. It certainly is.
Right, and these robes are it's quite fitting. I do have to get everything custom tailored, though, because not many people are my size. Would you believe it?
Can you change, like, in and out of being an otter at will? Or...
Oh, no, this is quite permanent.
Oh.
Yeah.
And is that the
Wow.
same for you, Lulu? Did you make a wish as well?
She gives a little trumpeting sound. No, I'm a hollyphant. It's similar to an elephant, but with wings, and golden, and pretty, and she, like, kind of floats about the room.
You're beautiful.
Thank you. He, like, comes up to you.
This past month, I've met so many different types of races. I don't know why your forms are so much more surprising than anyone else.
Yes. Yes. And you note that, like, Lulu here hasn't necessarily been speaking to you, like, out loud, but she reaches out telepathically to everyone in the room.
It's nothing new for me. She's like,
Yeah.
I'll reply telepathically
Tuesday.
to her and be like, I can do that too. Hello, Lulu.
Yes. Ooh, yes. Ooh. That's very interesting. It tickles. Is this what it feels like when I do it?
Well, I don't know. I think our abilities are quite different, but they have the same effect, which is fun.
Different, but the same. And she kind of, like, lands on one of the things and just, like, trots over all this alchemical equipment and gets
How
like
big is
kicked
she?
around.
If she's like a...
Just like this.
Oh,
yeah, like,
okay.
she's
Like
like,
dog
medium
size?
dog
like a little
size.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like a little, yeah.
Medium
Nice.
dog sized.
Lulu, apparently you're a great slayer of fiends.
Yes. Ha! Yes, I was.
And
Not
how did
anymore?
you achieve that? Because to be honest, Lulu, and I don't mean this to be mean, you have quite a genial appearance, you know? You seem quite friendly and nice.
Yes. Traxxagore speaks up and, like, kind of pats her on the side. Lulu had some event some time ago that damaged her memory. There are a lot of events that she can't remember, but go on, Lulu, and we've been working on it. And
Oh, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. That's okay, Lulu. I didn't mean to stress you out.
she, like, trumpets a little, like, stubbornly. No. I was with the angel Zarya when she assembled her Hell Riders to attack Avernus. We went through the gate, tearing through devils like a song through the air. Victory was within our grasp, and then... And she, like, looks pointedly at Rhea. Some of the Hell Riders betrayed us. They retreated through the gate and sealed it behind them. Before she was captured, Zariel told me to Actually, we're like pats or something. Right, take your time. Hide her sword, so it wouldn't fall into evil hands. Someone help me hide it. Someone help me hide it. I don't remember who. We found a place to hide it. I don't remember where. I escaped Avernus. I don't remember how. Most of my memory is gone. I don't remember why.
Well, you sound like a great hero, Lulu. There you go.
I am. I was. I think I was.
And we have a very nice Hell Rider with us in Rhea. She's definitely one of the good ones.
Rhea like approaches Lulu, kneels down next to her. Promise you, I will not abandon you like the ones that came before. Lulu kind of just like nuzzles up to her and gives little small trumpeting sounds.
Oh.
Right. Well, that being said, you are supposed to travel to Avernus from here, yes?
Yes.
Right. I was looking for my tuning fork. There's a specific tuning fork is attuned to the rhythm of Avernus, and that will assist us in arriving there, because the way to do this is I must travel with you as well to plane shift you there. Now, and he like puts his little paws together and says, where in the hells did I put that tuning fork? Would you mind assisting me? And you look around like the cluttered room here. It's like, this may take a bit of time without help.
Yeah, of course we can assist you.
Yes, no, by all means. Yes.
Right, good, right, perfect. So, perception checks from all of you, please.
Okay.
15.
6.
20,
I'm distracted by the
non-natural.
flying golden elephant.
15.
Okay. So with a 20, Francis, you are the one to find the
Fitting.
tuning fork there.
Yes, one.
Yeah, and you have what you're looking for,
Yeah.
and you find it like underneath just a bunch of junk. There's no telling what it actually is, but there's just a bunch of garbage there. Hugo, I need you to roll me a D100.
Sure thing. 43.
Interestingly enough, you find a tiny silver bell, but it doesn't seem to have a clapper attached to it.
Oh.
It's
Well,
not.
I
the
guess I'll
tuning
show
fork.
it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna nick it. I'll ask Traxxagore. Say,
Huh?
oh, what's this? This looks curious.
Oh, right. Well, take a look at all of the various little indentations and engravings around the edge there. Now, I removed the clapper from it some time ago. I put that. Because it summons a shadow demon.
Oh. Well, isn't that lovely?
It's quite...
Is it a shadow demon that serves you, or is it a
Yes,
nasty bugger?
but also no. And he like lifts up his robe a little bit, and you see there's a tiny little scar where the hair of his otter like hasn't grown back over.
Oh.
Did stab me one time, so I took the clapper out so he couldn't do that anymore.
Oh, why did he stab you?
Shadow demon. I think I explained quite a lot
Yes,
when I said
suppose.
that. Yes, maybe not as by the book as devils, but rather chaotic.
So it's a demon.
Indeed.
And we're going to the place where demons fight devils.
Yes.
Can I have this?
Do you think that we
It's
could have...
quite useless without the clapper attached to it.
Right,
make
do
a
you
new
have
clapper?
that?
I mean, I have it somewhere.
Because then potentially if we need to get out of a jam, we could summon the demon and then run away?
I will advise you, it is, rather angry at being trapped inside that bell.
Yeah, we don't put the we don't attach the clapper until we need to. We attach the clapper, we ring it, and then we run.
Oh.
I-
All
If
right.
we can't find it, I can probably make one.
There's very specific things about enchanted objects like this. They must be of the pieces that they came from. It is not whole without its original piece, and Well, I must have put it somewhere very safe. He starts like bounding about on like all of the alchemical table thing. Do you want to help him look for the
Yeah, I'll
clapper
look.
to
Yeah.
this? This is an investigation. This is a much more in-depth
Let's go.
look
Alright, let's
through
look.
of everything
It's,
here.
19.
14.
I got a 10.
I got another 20, non-natural.
Wow. Whatever.
Francis, as you hold the
Francis.
tuning fork up in front of you, because no one's addressed the fact that you have found the thing that is necessary, you look back into the pile of clutter and you go, right there. It's literally right there.
Traxxagore, I've got
What?
both
Yeah.
the things here. The tuning fork and the clapper.
Of course I put them there. That's where I put all of my important things.
Of course.
Ah, fantastic, fantastic. Now, so he like, may I see the bell? And he like holds out a tiny paw for the clapper,
Yes.
the one for the bell.
Yeah, I'll give him it.
Yeah, he's like hefting it, right? It's like the size of his head. Now, putting this back together is, takes a... To do this, you're going to need a mending spell. Does anyone have access to something like that?
No.
Like, I can mend it for you now, but then it is quite active.
Could
Maybe
we
should do it then.
could we tie some sort of like cloth to it so that it can't actually ring?
Oh, dampen the bell.
Yeah, so that hopefully it doesn't actually ring until we need it to.
Maybe. It's like little otter whiskers are like wriggling all about. But potentially, yes. I don't see why not. Ought to be some cloth around here somewhere. And he like rips part of his robe and starts to like line the inside. He's like inside the bell, right? And starts to line the inside with it there. And it's going to need more. And he like takes off the robe, the whole thing, and just starts. It's just little otter body. And he just starts
Little otter
lining
body.
it all in there. He's like, right then. Seems good enough. And rubs his little otter paws together and mends the thing back together. The little clapper onto it there. And right. Then he like shakes the bell. And it duk, 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 duk. Oh well, it doesn't seem to ring.
Marvelous.
Right.
I'm glad you tested it.
Oh yes, of course. I wouldn't want you to go to Avernus without having it tested.
And most importantly, we've gained an otter-shaped robe. Should we need that in our travels too?
I mean, it's Tor, but sure.
Yeah.
Oh, we have mending. It's fine. Maybe at some
don't-
point in the future. Somebody get mending, for fuck's sake.
I think the only fucking dedicated spell. Hey,
I'll work
Right.
on it.
Though, keep this in mind. To control the creature, you will need to know its true name. I believe it's
Black sheep?
and yeah, and from the corner, Lulu's like, "Ba ba, black sheep, have you any wool?" No, hey, stop that! Oh, Bazu, spell like this, and he like writes it out with a big quill on a parchment there. Oh, okay, keep that in mind. Otherwise, well, you'll gestures down back at the stab wound. You'll get a little shadow knife in you.
could we possibly store a note with it next to the bell? Because we're gonna forget it. It's gonna be. I can imagine it right now.
You know, he folds up the piece of paper, right? He has to like walk over and push down on it, and he goes and picks it up and like hands it. He goes, right, here you go.
Marvelous.
Right, well, this is going to absolutely be disastrous at some point in our future adventures, and I can't wait. Who wants to carry the bell? That's the best question.
I mean, I can.
Not me.
Well, it's a
One of the
rather
spoons
small
might have it.
bell. Probably any of you could carry it.
I'll take it. Maybe
Okay,
I don't. we
Francis, you
should-
can have it. Cyrus, I would give it to you, except you have a knack of falling from high places, and it might ring when
It
you do that.
happened once. It happened once.
Once is more than enough for most people.
Yeah, that's fair.
Francis, just make
Here
sure
you go,
it's
Francis.
separate
I'll hand
from
you the
your
little swaddled bell.
tuning fork. Okay.
Yes.
Bong.
Ooh.
Oh,
like
we
stuck in the
accidentally
bag.
teleported to the shadow demon plane. Whoops.
Accident.
It's like in the bag.
I'm just gonna call it demonic bell.
Great.
Bracket shadow demon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Traxxagore, I have your tuning fork here.
Oh, right, yes. Oh, what we were looking for. That would make sense.
And so I will hand it to him.
Right. How does this work again? Oh, right. And he starts to like move a bunch of junk out of the way. Former, I need you to stand together in a circle, please.
4 people in a circle. How the?
Right.
Fine. Well,
Nice.
we probably want Rhea and Rowan in here as well, I suppose.
Yeah. Rhea's obviously following the directions here.
Traxxagore, you said you have to come to Avernus with us.
Indeed.
Are you just going back immediately?
I will have my ways. I will have to rest for some time. Also, Lulu's going with you. So.
Lulu's coming with us.
Indeed. Take her with her.
Permanently.
He waddles up to you and like gestures for you to like get down so he can whisper in your ear as like Lulu like just happily floats about the room.
All right.
So, I have this idea that Lulu is going to become invariably useful as she begins to regain her memories. Assist her in doing that, and, well, maybe you find the Sword of Zarya.
Okay. So
Maybe.
we have a rude shield, and now you want us to get a sword
Yes.
from an angel who betrayed. Okay.
Well, the sword is hidden. As long as Lulu's memories are true, you should be able to find it.
If only
Maybe.
somebody who can use a sword shows up. Don't worry, I feel like I have a burgeoning martial ability. It's fine.
Oh, perfect. That's wonderful.
Rhea can use a sword.
I'm probably gonna be a fighter soon. It's fine.
Upward.
Well, anything else here, I think is. Right, circle. Oh, right, Lulu, get over here, and like puts a big paw on her back here. And, right now, stand in a circle. Make sure you're all holding hands, touching shoulders, or whatever. Right? He has the like tuning fork. It's like half the size of his body above his head. Right? And he goes, all right then, hold on tight. If you've never done this before, it can be quite nauseating. And he slams the tuning fork down onto the floor and goes, and it rings outwards, and the planes shift. You're cast through the realms, and when you open your eyes, a hot, stinging air assaults your senses. The city street in which you stand is lined with buildings that are crumbling, if not already collapsed. The ground shudders beneath your feet. In the red, smoky sky, 400-foot diameter sphere of darkness discharges strokes of bluish-white lightning that strike the city at irregular intervals. Perched atop a distant bluff, overlooking the rest of the city, is a crumbled fortress. Traxxagore gazes up at the black orb nervously, utters a few arcane syllables, and then disappears. And this is where we're going to end today's show.
We got to Avernus. Stop.
We did it.
We did it.
You got
We did a
to
speed run of Avernus and we made it.
Avernus and level 5.
Oh,
Yay!
So congratulations.
Nice.
You will be leveling up between now and the next session. You have arrived in the city of Elturel in all of its
More like Hell Terrell.
blasted forms.
wee.
Yeah. Congratulations. And for those of you at home, we did it. We're there. We're in Avernus. We descended. No
Did
more
it.
basements. No more cellars.
I know, Joel, this is the mother of all basements.
Pretty good. It's a pretty good base. It's the first layer of 9 different basements, if you think about it that way.
Thank goodness.
So you can continue to descend downwards if you would like to. But yes, welcome. You have some new knowledge, new companions, and a goal, I think. Try and make this all work. So thank you everyone at home for being here for episode 15. It only took 15 episodes and what is that multiplied by 3? 45 hours of playtime to arrive in Avernus. There you go.
That's fine.
It's fine.
Don't worry about it. Everything's like already, like the story's finished in Avernus because we took so long.
Yeah, everything's already done.
Everyone's gonna be like, what? Everything's fine here now.
There's like a janitor sweeping up. Oh, you just missed it. You just missed it.
So thank you guys for playing. Thank you at home for watching. And until next time. Bye.
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 Bye.